Okay, if you guys watched our first game, I hope you guys enjoyed that one. We're coming back with our second game now. So now, Justin will be using his evil, the Isengard Scouts, versing my Lothlorien Wood Elves. So it's going to be an interesting game. Let's see how we go. Like the first game, we're going to use the veto system again to determine which scenarios we're going to choose from. So a 4 and a 2, so pool 2. Number 4 is capture and control. And for the next scenario, pool 6 and a 4, so clash by moonlight. Guess who's getting vetoed again? Need my elves to shoot. And the last one, 1 and a 3, hold ground. So we've got an interesting pool to choose from. We'll be back with our vetoes.
What are they again?
So to choose from to veto, we've got Clash by Moonlight, Capture and Control, and Hold Ground.
I'll get rid of capture and control.
Too easy. And I am getting rid of Clash by Moonlight. So that means we are playing Hold Ground. Okay, so Hold Ground, and this is a Maelstrom mission. So we are both going to be rolling for priority, and then we'll roll to see if the warbands come on.
6
and 4. All right.
Alright, I'll go Ugluks warband. See if they arrive on a 2.
Yep. So coming in on a point that I choose, either on the north and south.
Yep.
I'll say I'm on the north side.
Okay.
You're on the south side.
Yep.
Cool. So you can put Ugluk on the north side. Over on my side. Alright. Ugluk and his warband moved on from the north board edge.
Do Snarker.
Yep, snuggle.
6.
6.
So wherever I want.
Yep, that's correct.
I'll put him with Ugluk.
Yep, too
He
easy.
does get decapitated by Ugluks. Should be next to him.
Yeah, just in case you need to chop his head off.
Yep. These guys only move 6 though.
Cool, too easy. Who is next?
We'll do Grishnak. 5.
East or west board edge, so either of those two.
I'll go there.
Yep.
His friends.
Yep, her and friends. 6, wherever you like.
I'll put him as Grishnak.
You go. End of the Orcs movement, turn 1. So we've got Ugluk and all the Orcs. Looking pretty good and not too bad of a deployment for Maelstrom. So over to my deployment. Okay, so I've decided to roll for Celeborn's Warband first, because as long as I have 1 might with Galadriel, I can use the other 2 might to alter the roll for her deployment. So we'll go with Celeborn first and see what he rocks up. 6, wherever I like. So I'll put them down and I'll come back after that. So I've deployed Celeborn and his Warband over here on the board edge, and now I'm going to roll to see where Galadriel rocks up. A 5. So anywhere on the east or west board edges, so I get to put her where I want, so I'll come back after this. So Galadriel and her warband rocked up here, carrying the mirror on, and this is what the battlefield looks like at the end of turn 1. Over to priority. Turn 2, priority. Alright, goes to evil. So here is the end of turn 2. movement for the orcs. They're moving towards the objective. Back after the Wood Elves' turn. So Galadriel has declared a heroic channel, and she's going to channel Blinding Light. She's using her 3-pointer will and her own store. So it goes off on a 4+. And that is the end of the Wood Elves' move. We move full, so there's no shooting. Over to priority. Turn 3. 6 and 3, I'll take it. Cool. So the Wood Elves have decided to stay put there. Over to the Orcs movement. Okay, so end of turn 3, Orcs moving. So now we're going to do some shooting. Sentinels are going to drop their 6 shots into the Orc archers. So to hit. To hit. Ooh. Okay, in the way. So there are 2 shields. So if they go past the shields, one hits the shield, one hits the archer. So the shield first. Strength 3, defense 5. So need 5s. I get him. Yep. And then for the archer, strength 3, defense 4. Still need 5s, and no cigar. So 1 casualty from Wood Elf shooting. Over to priority for turn 4. Yeah, you.
I'll shoot with Ugluks because they didn't move.
Yeah, sure. So against the Wood Elves,
Needing 6s.
6s.
Get one.
Yep.
Needing.
So you'll have to shoot, obviously, him because of the play.
No, that's not enough.
No problem. Back to priority for turn 4.
2
and a 5. I'll take it. Okay, so end of Wood Elves' movement. They stayed put, and the Sentinels ended up dispersing this group of Uruk-hai. Also, the banner failed his courage, so he was moved forward and then charged by 4 Wood Elves. So over to the Orcs' turn 4 move. So the end of Orcs' movement. Malher charged over here. All the Orcs have moved up, bar the ones that were Eldamar Madrield. Orc shooting, we killed 1 archer that was here and also the drummer, so not orc, elf shooting. And then the orcs had no shooting, so over to combat.
I could shoot some of these elves here.
Yeah,
So
if you want to.
that.
Yep, go for it. We'll do that on camera.
Yep. Okay, so just shooting those 3 sentinels.
Yep.
1 hits.
Yep. Did you move at all?
Yes.
Yeah, so
but
it's 7s, blinding light, 6s to hit, -1 for moving, 7. So you need 6 and 4. Yep.
Okay. And a 4 with a strength 3 bow against a sentinel.
Yep, sentinels are
Defense 3.
defense 3, I believe, yeah.
Yeah.
Yep, that's expensive. Okay. So, in a combat, Malher killed the Wood Elf there after he won the fight, and now it's over to priority.
Yep.
2 versus 5. Alright, I'm just gonna think about doing heroics. No heroics on my side. And the orc movement, so everyone's moved up here, starting to engage in combat. These guys have snuck around the back. Malher and Uruk have engaged sentinels. And yeah, back after Wood Elf's movement. So end of the Wood Elf moving phase. Over here we charge. We've managed to kill one of the orcs with throwing weapons, and then everyone's sort of charged. You've got a couple supporting there. Then we had this sentinel charged around and charged Mer here in the rear, and Círdan charged him. Then we had the Wood Elf there with the sword charged the orc, and these elves around here moved around, charged in, missed with their throwing weapons, and now we're going to go combat. So over here, the Wood Elves only lost 1 fight with this guy being pushed back, and overall we won, failed to kill over there, killed a few in the middle here. Malher was killed by the 2 sentinels and Celeborn, and then around here we killed 2 orcs and another 2 there. And now we go to priority. 3 and 5. Alright. Galadriel's going to call a heroic move for the Galadrim.
Yep.
Any counters?
No.
Cool. End of Wood Elves movement. So we've called a heroic move over here. These two were out, and everyone else was in. So we've moved Galadriel up, and then everyone else has charged, throwing weapons. We killed some and failed to kill others. And this guy ran from an Eldamar Madriel, and killed a couple orcs with throwing weapons, and over to orc movement. Okay, so the orcs have just maximized the combats around this end and over here as well. Ugluk is charged in here, and that's about it. So all of the orc heroes in combat, here, here, and here, have called a heroic combat. Celeborn's called a heroic combat, and it's Justin's priority, so he gets to roll for who goes first. 1, 2, 3, evil. 4, 5, 6, good. Goes to good. So Celeborn's doing his first. Okay, so in combat, we rolled off for the heroic combat order, and Celeborn got his first, and he completely whiffed, failed to kill his
We're up
orc.
to an hour too.
And then over here, this orc failed his heroic combat, and same with Grishnak. And then over here, lost an elf. This elf pushed those guys back. This elf pushed them back. I lost a sentinel and a wood elf over here. And then I lost 2 more wood elves with swords. And he lost quite a few orcs in that phase. So over to priority. 1 for the wood elves.
Alright, 2.
2. Alright, Galadriel's going to use her last point of might and call another heroic move.
Yep. I'll counter with Ugluks.
Yep, you got the priority. You roll to see who it goes to. 4, 5, 6. Hey! Alright, goes to the wood elves. And a wood elf move. Charged, throw some throwing daggers, and failed to do any damage this turn. This guy was out of the heroic move distance. And Galadriel failed to compel Ugluk because he rolled a 6 for his will and got his will back. So over to orc. Okay, so the orcs once again have maximized all of their engagements. We'll be back after the combat phase.
And I'll call a heroic combat with Grishnak again.
Yep, no problem. I'm not calling any heroic
And I'll
combats.
call a heroic strike with Ugluks as well.
Cool. Well, in that case, I will strike with Celeborn.
Okay.
Okay, so over here, Grishnak failed his heroic combat.
No,
Celeborn
passed it.
Oh, he passed it. Yeah, that's
Yeah, 'cause
right.
he
And he
killed
went
the
and killed the
banner.
banner. That's
Yeah.
right. And then Celeborn killed Ugluk. Lost a few sentinels. Unfortunately, it's quite expensive, and a few more elves. And the elves failed to kill any orcs in combat, which is very disappointing. I think I killed 2 at most, but getting rid of that hero is a big deal. Over to priority. 4 versus 4. I'll get it because you had it last time.
Yeah.
I said call a heroic. Do you have any heroics to call?
I do.
Yep.
Yeah, I will. I'll call one with Snarger.
Okay, I'll just use my last one of might with Celeborn, and that's
I
it.
thought you already had.
Oh, I'll double check, sorry.
Yeah, I'm sure you had, because you used it to kill Ugluks.
Oh yeah, you're right, yep. No problem. Alright. Alright, so the orcs did their heroic move over here. Grishnak failed to charge Galadriel. And then we moved around sides, and then they maximized everywhere, and we'll be back after combat. Okay, so over here, he won his combat, Sentinel died, Galadriel ended up taking a wound in the combat that she was in there, but she passed her fate save. Celeborn killed one of the orcs, and then over here, fairly uneventful, no kills. Over to priority, and I am officially broken and rolling courage tests as of this next priority phase because I broke last priority.
6.
Cool. Okay. Over to evil. So here's the end of the movement phase. Celeborn was left alone there, and then he moved over and charged there, and everyone else got charged. Grishnak had to use his last point of will and might to charge Galadriel. and we'll come back after combat. Okay, so here's the end of the game. This is what the field likes. We're gonna add up our points and we'll get back to Justin. So you ended up winning that game. You got 3 for having more models, or all models. Actually, so because you have the only player, you ended up with 7.
Oh, okay.
Because you're the only one who has anyone in range of the objective marker over
Because
here.
it must have been 3 inches, was it?
It's a 6-inch.
Oh, okay.
Oh, actually, no, I've got 2, but you've got more, so you would end up with
so-
5. You end up with 5 because you have,
Yeah.
Yep. And then you ended up also with 3, so a total of 8 because you ended up breaking me and I was not broken.
Okay.
And I ended up with 2 because I ended up killing Ugluk.
Yeah.
So how'd you feel? How'd your force go? What would you do differently if you could?
I think the biggest thing was I probably overcommitted Malher. I sort of lost him way earlier than what I would have liked. And Ugluks was a bit the same. It was a bit luck of the dice, but I think calling 3 heroic combats in one turn against elves was a bit probably not such a wise decision. Like against fight 5, he's sort of up against it. I think it would have been better to keep the might to win fights or just cause wounds. I would have liked to have pinned down Galadriel, but it didn't happen because I was really hoping to get the best out of Grishnak's backstab as +1 to wound.
I think we all want to pin down Galadriel, but yeah.
Yeah.
Continue.
Well, yeah, but no, overall happy. Probably the biggest thing for me is just playing a bit smarter. The weight of numbers is good. And the +1 to wound with the animosity rule is awesome. It helped me kill quite a lot of elves that I probably wouldn't have otherwise.
Yeah, definitely. I feel like this list with the amount of characters you can take and the models on top of it, and like also the banners and the drum. Like you didn't overcommit on drums as well because in my scouts army I run 2 drums, but I run my scouts all the way to 800.
Yeah.
But yeah, like I feel like you did really well. Definitely sort of played me towards the end there. I feel like I kind of had the upper hand at the beginning and I was playing the list right until I engaged you. And that was it. And I was over reliant on my fight value versus the numbers, and I think just fight versus numbers every day the numbers are gonna win, and with the strength 4 with the extra +1 to wound. Definitely.
You were doing okay at the start, but in the end the numbers were sort of too much. But you were still winning fights, and I mean you still looking at my dead pile, you took out a ton of Europe scouts.
Well, you're only I think 4 models off breaking, so it wasn't like too.
No, it wasn't horrendous. It was just that
you're never gonna kill all the orcs.
No.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
I think just being such an elite army with you was sort of you just didn't have the bodies to survive the numbers game.
Yep, and that mirror ended up being dead weight too in the end. Literally. It moved 3 inches on the board and got dropped. I do have thoughts on what I'm going to do with my army, and I'll address that in a minute. Okay, so it was another excellent game with Justin. I have some thoughts on what I want to do with my army. That was a list I really wanted to run, just to have Galadriel and Celeborn together, have the mirror, make it very Lothlorien-y. And my alternative is I'm going to drop Celeborn, and I'm going to add in Haldir and a Wood Elf Archer. Wood Elf Captain. And also add in, drop the mirror. And I'm going to add some more warriors just to sort of bulk out the numbers a bit more. I feel like the extra shots from the Captain and Haldir will definitely contribute to this army, help make it a bit more kitey, and force me to commit to kiting as well a bit more now with the extra shooting. Apart from that, I think I played well at the beginning. I think I needed to kite for an extra 2 turns at least before I engaged. And yeah, like I said, my mistake was thinking that I could outfight a million orcs with fight 5 elves. just didn't happen. And as soon as I started losing sentinels and losing priorities, and then the sentinels were getting charged before they could use their Eldamar or use any of their other magical abilities, it just didn't really optimize the list, and didn't really get the most out of the sentinels and the other units. I really tried to overcommit, and when I broke the formation, trying to get as many throwing daggers in as possible, I wasn't doing the damage that I needed to do to get rid of the orcs. So I think when I am going up such against like a lower defense army, maybe that might be a way to go, but higher defense, maybe just reserve it to when I really need to charge.